Okay, so this is going to be a short video, I hope, of how I'm using multiple applications, not a whole lot, to complete a drawing here. So in this page here, double page spread for my Run With Your comic, The Dream Awakens series, which you can read on my website for free. I'm composing this page, and I've gotten pretty far with the pencils as far as I'm concerned, because I am going to ink it myself. But this panel right here presented several problems from the get-go. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the original thumbnail illustration for this piece here. So here was the initial idea. The character, Azure, is flying up and away. That was the idea, but of course, you know, once I get to penciling the entire page and laying it out, I come up with something that I am thinking is just more dynamic. And so I have this initial rough after that thumbnail. So I'm here, you know, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to really make this look realistic, because my style does tend to go into the more realistic style, representational for those of you who've studied art. So I'm trying to be more representational with the figures, meaning I want them to look realistic. So the pose itself got tricky, and so what I ended up doing was pulling up one of my favorite tools here, which is Artpose Pro, and with this application you can rotate and you can pose the different body parts here, because it's pretty much articulated with all the joints. And so once you pick an angle, let's say like for the head, pointing it up, go back to the camera view, and I can do this. So I did something like that essentially. And so going back into Procreate, if you look at that image here, this part that I'm working on, I captured that image from Artpose Pro, which would ultimately be what I use as a reference to pose the head angled up, because this part here was tricky to draw the neck. So from here, I'll go back to my gallery, go back to the pencils here. I have what is the final, we're getting to be closer to the final look of what the image is going to be like, the final drawing here of the character. So while I had pretty much drew all this from imagination, again using different tools here, my imagination is one of them. Using the Artpose Pro to pose the digital mannequin is another tool. And then for the expression on the face, that was going to be a tricky one too, as well as like the detail of like kind of like anger or being somewhat excited as the character flies off. I found some reference, and while this person here looks nothing like my character, I did like the way the face was animated, the way the model or whatever was posing for this stock photo. And I took that same feeling, and even though it's kind of a similar shot, I have more of an extreme angle here, I think. But the way the eyes and the eyebrows and the way the nose, because when the mouth opens up, you know, the space between the nose, the bottom of the nose and the bridge here of the nose, kind of scrunches up. And I can probably actually expand his mouth a little bit more, but the idea is there and the feeling is there to be able to like get the realistic representation of the character here in this pose and in this particular scene. So taking different tools, again using my imagination to kind of flesh out the muscles here, using this photo ref, and then of course using the Artpose Pro mannequin to get the proper angle on the head. So there you go, use different tools to bring that realism or that even that believability as far as from a technical perspective to your comic book art. So that's how I do it.